Well, I played a little bit in college, played club ball, and then played after college. I met my wife Anna shortly thereafter, and she was a big volleyball player. She played college ball at Rice, and her parents started the festival back in 1984. And she and I got together probably around 1990. And one of my first tests, so that I would be marriage material, was to come and work at the Volleyball Festival. So I had to, pass the test twice, 2 years before we actually got married in 1992. So that was a big part of our, if you can handle this, and then you can be part of the family. So, 20 years later, here we are. A lot of our customers come from the West Coast, so we definitely want to stay within reasonable travel distances from those places. So coming down to Phoenix, you're still within a 6-hour drive of Southern California. So that's actually a little bit easier than Reno for most of those folks. Big reason was the facility. They had just expanded the Phoenix Convention Center to almost 1 million square feet. We can get 106 courts in this one facility, which gives us a lot of flexibility, but then teams don't have to drive around to different places, and allows us to kind of create a consistent and good experience for them while they're here. Well, what's nice about Nfinity, and I think what really attracted us in the first place, was the fact that you focus on the female athlete. The festival, since after the first 2 years, has not had boys at its tournament, so our focus is entirely on the female athlete as well. We want to inspire those young ladies. We want to help educate them to the opportunities, as well as the coaches, and then to bring that entire community together. So I think our alignment in terms of where our focus was and what we were trying to accomplish were very similar, and we've enjoyed working with Nfinity. We have over 500 teams here in Phoenix, and they're coming from probably about 18 different states across the United States. They're coming from Canada, they're coming from Puerto Rico, they're coming from Mexico, they're coming from Brazil, and then we also had 3 teams from Trinidad this year as well. But we had on the East Coast a team as far as Boston come here, and then we had Alaska and Hawaii. I think folks like to use our event as a nice year-end experience for their teams. Sometimes the club season can be very long and strenuous. So I think the successful clubs have seen this as a way they can bring all their age groups together in one place, all have a good experience playing the same facility, and kind of celebrate their accomplishments through the year, and then really use this as a way to solidify their relationship with their players for the next season. I think from a competitive standpoint, you look at the 2 sports. You have to set your goals. You have to work hard at both those sports. I think it just translates. From an organization standpoint, as a player, you always try to see how you'd like to have tournaments run and how you'd like to be treated as either a sport parent or as a player. So then we try to take that from that perspective and use that as an organization in order to put on the best tournament possible. It's the first year we've done it. It's 175 tons of sand. We've not put one together before, so it was a bit of a learning experience, but we did it in a day. We had good partners here in Phoenix to work with us. I originally saw the idea at the Final Four, Women's Final Four, at the coaches conference. They've had a sand court inside there to kind of go through some of the same things I thought would be beneficial to our folks here, which is the education in terms of the benefits of playing in the sand as well as indoor. So you can use some of the same skills, but you work on you develop different muscles, and I think the two sports actually complement each other. So it's definitely something we want to continue. We've had great feedback. We were able to bring in some pro athletes, Jenny Kropp, Misty May, to work with us here and to help the kids kind of understand how they got started in the sport, and then how they also could to use it to the betterment of their game. We did it pretty much in a day, and so we've had folks that have built courts before, but not necessarily in a convention center. So you have to consider the fact that you have to be careful that you don't scrape up the floor of the convention center. You have to put underlayment down. How are you going to keep that much sand in one place? Because you don't want the sand getting onto the regular courts, and it could be a dangerous situation. So a lot of things kind of went into it, in the planning of it as we went along to make sure that we're able to address safety first, and then obviously develop a nice sand court. Once it was built, then you've got this big sand court. How do you kind of make it a festive feel? So with our Hawaiian theme, we're able to bring in some palm trees and some signage to make it really feel like you're outdoors and enjoying the beach in Hawaii. We'd like to. If we get good support from our sponsors, we might be able to bring in some additional courts and maybe even run a tournament, sand tournament throughout the week as well.
Sand or court?
Sand.
Would you rather eat a whole raw onion or an entire bottle of mustard?
Mustard.
Favorite zoo animal?
Giraffe.
Would you rather hang out with Ronald McDonald or the creepy guy from Burger King?
Creepy guy from Burger King because his name's BK.
Would you rather be able to read people's minds or see 30 minutes into the future at any time?
30 minutes into the future.
Applebee's or Chili's?
Chili's.
Would you rather spend a day with Abraham Lincoln or Luke Skywalker?
Luke Skywalker.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Braveheart.
If you were a superhero, which one would you be?
Oh, Spider-Man.
Would you rather be a rodeo clown that distracts the bull or the rider on the bull?
Rodeo clown.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers?
No.